I have an exam tomorrow and I'm making this video to share with you how I feel about it. So I have an exam tomorrow. Am I stressed? A little bit. You know, it's a healthy stress. Am I afraid? No. Yeah, that's pretty much the only two components that you probably would ask about. But it's such a good topic to talk about, you know, in general, especially when it comes to motivators and fear being a bad motivator. It just happens so often and so a lot that I see it in so many people doing it wrong. And today I want to talk about it in this sitting, which is a session. It looks like there is an echo a little bit. I mean, you just have to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? But it is true. So, when it comes to exams, I mean, tomorrow I have my final exam, the last exam I have in nursing university, college, wherever you want it. And after that, I'll just have to present my thesis. So it's, 45 minutes, and that's it. So it's the last exam. A lot of people actually romanticize it, you know? They're like, oh, it's the last, and it doesn't really matter, you know? It just doesn't really matter. I don't even care. Last exam, the first exam, all the goddamn same. Just have to, not screw it up. How I like to say it, not to fuck it up, you know? And that's really the entire goal, is just don't fuck it up. Or literally anything else, you're good. But I'd say I have such a good experience with exams a lot. Obviously, not only because I've been in, academically studying for my entire life. For what now? 15 years? Maybe more. Yeah, way more, like 18 years. I started studying, I was 4. But actually I did a lot of analysis, a lot of looking back, and so almost like having this feedback about the last exams that I've done. We're talking like in years, right? In the last few years, 5, 6, 10 years. And I look at it and I see what are the best exams, what were my best results, and what did I do in those exams. And what I found out is my best grades didn't come from the highest efforts, not even close. It was insanely irrelevant how much work and stress I have put into the exams with my actual grades, which is extremely, it's extremely crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't study. I'm not telling you don't study. But there is a certain strategy that goes with it that almost feels effortless, and genuinely it is. You study the least and you get the best results. It's crazy. So let me share it with you, It's a good opportunity to share it with you here. And so very early on of last year, I'm pretty sure, or at the, at the end of, towards like, not last year, but the year before it, the end of 2024, I was actually analyzing my life, and I realized the power of analyzing and looking back and seeing what mistakes I have done, how can I learn from them, etc., and seeing the patterns in my life. And I realized that for me, the best year, it was 1 year, or like the best 3 months, the best 6 months, the best semester, trimester, specifically the best 2 trimesters. I had the best grades. I was doing the best in work, the best in sales. I was making a little bit of money. I was being in shape. I was training. I was doing this. I was reading books. I was reading books all the time. And that was the best version of myself. And I realized that I have done certain patterns that I have noticed in that period that have actually made it possible. And for reference, at the beginning few years of my nursing university, I was studying the most. I'm talking the most. Every single day, I spend hours and hours and hours every single day just studying in-house, right? I go to lecture, do whatever, and I always do my homework. I always do this, I always do that. But I really didn't have a strategy other than just obsess over it, work as much as humanly possible. And in that year, I didn't get the best results. I didn't get the best results at all. And especially in comparison to the cost, in comparison to how much effort and just mental draininess that has come with it, and a lot of stress and fear and anxiety that came with it, almost the results don't really matter. It was almost shit, really. And well, later on that year, I actually repeated the year. We could say failed. Which is true. I was the eighth in the class, and still yet I failed. Which just shifted a little bit of my mindset of just like how the world works, especially academically. You don't really have to be the best. I knew people that were dumbasses with this term, dumbasses. Genuinely as dumb as a rock. Genuinely. I don't think a rock is more intelligent than those people. I know them. I know them personally, like my friends or whatever. And they still passed that year. They didn't care. They didn't prepare. You think they were studying? They were preparing. I was preparing. I was studying. Right? I was pushing myself through hell to get there. And I was like, well, all these people did nothing and still passed. I did everything and didn't pass. So fuck this. But really, it just shows a lot of, a lot of how the world works. The world is unfair. And you have to know this. The world is unfair. And you just have to play that to your advantage. The world is never fair. And I'll talk about this. There is a trick you can use in college as well when it comes to fairness. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So the main strategy that I have developed, it was basically mainly composed of two components. Okay, one prior to the exam, and one is the exam period. We're talking, well, depending on how big the exam is, not more than a month, usually 24 hours, usually. So the 24 hours before the exam to the 48 hours, those are the most important ones. You have to do things right. And the other side, everything else before that, everything else. The trick was, every time in class, in college, you sit in the front row. Not in the middle, not in the back, in the front row. No matter how uncomfortable you are, no matter how stupid you are, you always strive for that first seat. And this gives you a lot of, it actually gives you a lot of advantages. One, the teachers have this unconscious almost thinking that whoever sits in the front is smarter and better. Two, still with the teachers remember who you are more than anybody else. My class has 84 people. You think the professor remembers all of them? Generally, I was in an internship. We were two people, me and a girl. The professor couldn't even remember the girl's name. You can even think about that, right, for a moment. She couldn't even remember the name. And let alone 80 people. She's not gonna remember you, bro. So sit in the front row. At least it gives you a good shot. Even unconsciously, right, subconsciously, they're gonna look at your face more than anybody else. Three, actually, you get less screwed from the teachers. Every single time the teachers want to screw somebody, it's not me, because I'm sitting in the front row. They're not interested. They're like, oh, that guy is engaged. We want the people who are not engaged. So it's more of a better trap, more entertaining to them, right? Four, even if you get trapped in class, every single time you can survive. Why? Because you're sitting in the front row, bro. Genuinely. All what you have to do, sit in the front row and just listen to the teacher. Because really you cannot use your phone, you cannot talk to your friends, and I usually sit alone, like here it's empty, here it's empty. Or I sit in the corner, so here it's empty, here is nothing, there's no chairs. Helps a lot. So really all I have to do is just listen. All I have to do really, not even listen, just exist there. I don't even care, like even if I don't care, genuinely, I don't care. I will still understand the lecture more than anybody else is sitting in the front row, not the front row, the middle row or the back. So that's a trick for you. 5, which is the most important of them all. You understand more than any fucking body else. And here's how we think about it. Think about it like this. You're sitting with your friend, right? You're sitting with your friend and he's talking some shit, I don't know, right? Your friend can talk about anything. He's talking about his trip. He took a boat and he went fishing, right? And he's talking, and you're sitting like this. He's here, he's talking. You will remember a lot of what he says. Just like, oh, you're talking with your family. They're talking about boats and fishing in that certain area. You're like, oh, actually, my friend went there. You don't even try. It just happens. The magic of the brain, right? You say, oh, well, my friend just went there, actually took that boat. Well, I don't remember really the name, but it was a yellow boat. He said he took it from that place. And it was $600. And they went boat fishing for 2 days and came back in last week of May. Effortlessly you do that. It's the same thing that happens with the goddamn fucking teachers. Because they're talking. And they're genuinely, here's the thing. When you are a teacher, when you're a professor, and if you have tried anything, any time in your life to actually explain something, you will realize that you try to explain it just like you're talking to a friend, with words. So the teacher is using words that you can understand. So even without trying, you realize, oh shit, I remember pretty much all of the things that he was talking about. Especially the terms that he uses. Because every teacher has specific terms that they like to use. That in the exam, you just put those words, you're gonna pass, trust me. So there's the terms, there is the way they explain things, also the personality of the teacher, get to know them. Are they more of a yapper? They just talk? Are they more of a, talk less, mean more bullshit? That's really important. Also what they care about. You realize them giving kudos for a lot of people. Kudos, it's like good job, whatever. And you're like, well, that guy talked about this topic. Next session, somebody else talks about that same topic, gets the kudos. Third lesson, you already know that topic gets kudos. Whether you say it, or obviously in the exam, you maximize the effort, or you maximize the return on investment on there. So that is one side, right? So as an example, I have an exam tomorrow. Most people have actually started preparing already. I wouldn't say I'm ahead. I talked to my friends. Obviously, I did the effort and I talked to my friends and told them to explain to me the lessons and teach me whatever. They were teaching me and explaining to me all of that. And also I took a look at the courses and the lectures, whatever. But really, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have actually put in more hours, more whatever. But when you think about it on the flip side, I've spent more hours than all of them combined. Because while they were in the back talking with their friends or using their phones, I was in the goddamn fucking front row. That's right. So, and don't even try, right? Say, oh, I sit in the back, but I don't talk. Goddamn fucking there's 100 head in front of you. Brother, I just sit in the back sometimes, or when I'm talking to my friends, and actually I never sit in the back, I always sit in the front row. But I sit in the back, and I'm looking at 100 heads. Everybody's doing this, up and down, moving. She moves her hair, she does this, she does that. What the fuck? I'm gonna look at her hair, instead of the goddamn fucking teacher teaching us the lesson. Fuck that, screw that, I don't like this. I'm very genuine, I'm very, strict about this. I sit in the front row. Nobody. Who sits next to me? Nobody. Sits next to me here? Nobody. I'm alone, sitting in front of the teacher. Teacher talking, I'm looking at him. Sometimes I don't even look at the teachers. Some teachers are not very good to make eye contact with them. Yeah, probably I should make more eye contact. With some teachers, I prefer. Yeah, I should make more eye contact. But anyway, I just don't even look at them. I genuinely, wallahi, which means I swear to God, I don't even look at them. We had a teacher, wallahi, I remember I made a, I made a video ranting about her last year. It was so funny. It was actually, I'm pretty sure the title was reading the book, not Thinking the Grow Rich, The Richest Man Babylon. I was making the review while coming back from that lecture. I was ranting, destroyed that teacher. I hated her. But really, yeah, she's lovely. We have a very good relationship. But anyway, I was sitting with her, not sitting with her, I was in her class. This semester I have her class. I didn't look at her, not even once, and I sit in the goddamn fucking front row. I just look at my notes and I'm writing. What am I writing? A lot of times just writing bullshit, just whatever she says I'm writing. It doesn't really matter. I just know the return on investment of me sitting in the front is just huge and higher than everybody else. And you know what's funny? You know what's crazy, now that I think about it? We are about 5 people, or 4 people, 4 people, that always sit in the front row. Always. 3 of them, including me, got the goddamn fucking top 5 last semester in the class. Top 5. I'm pretty sure it was top 1, top 4, and top 5. Imagine. And those literally every single time, they sit just next to me. Next to me, you know, a few girls, they sit next to me. We never talk, but yeah, they sit next to me. And that's how important, actually, especially in lectures, obviously, sitting in the goddamn fucking front row. I don't care about who's your friend, who's your girlfriend, I don't care, bro. Just go sit in the front row. It's gonna give you a huge return on investment. And when it's time for the exams, you find yourself that almost you understand everything. I genuinely believe, right now, without revision, I can pass the exams any day of the week and I get a full fucking grade, 20 out of 20. Wallahi, I swear to God, not even kidding. Wallahi, I swear to God, not even kidding. Wallahi, I swear to God, not even kidding. 3 times. That's how much the return on investment that actually helps and gives, or huge it is. Now, I said that's one part. Another part of it, exam days. So while analyzing, I said, there's one particular exam in my life I got the best grade ever. I'm telling you, ever. Huge. I've never done that in my fucking life. And whatever, you can call it luck. Who cares? And I looked back and I said, what did I do differently that exam? Obviously, I did the part that I told you about. Now the second part. The most important, please hear me out. The most important period in the exam, 48 hours to 24 hours before the goddamn fucking exam. The most important. I don't care how much lecture you've done, even if you don't go to lecture ever. 48 to 24 hours before the exam helps you a lot. When I say a lot, I say the most. Huge. Now, how does it actually work? 1, the priority is not studying. No. It's not memorization. No. Not revision. No. The priority is good food, good sleep. Then comes the short-term memory. Remember, good food. You want to eat protein. Don't eat some fucking, a lot of carbs, a lot of sweets. Not very good. Eat protein. Eat some, eat good fucking meal. Treat yourself. Go buy some shit. I don't care. Eat good. Eat some eggs. I don't give a fuck what you eat. Eat good. Not sweets. Not snacks. Oh, I eat a chocolate. No. Eat good. I'm talking protein. I'm talking something that actually gives you sustainable energy. Not only for the 1 or 2 hours that you have in the exam, but for the entire day. So I have an exam tomorrow. I need to eat good today, and tomorrow morning I have a good breakfast so I can actually continue out with my day. So that's 1, food. 2, sleep. When I say sleep, I say at least, I'm saying at least, worst case scenario, 8 hours. Worst case scenario. Generally, worst case scenario. We're looking at 10, 12 hours. 8 hours is the worst. If it's less than 8 hours, bruv, you're fucked. I genuinely couldn't think of anything that can screw you up more than not sleeping enough. Sleep 8 hours. At least, I'm telling you, like if you're dying, sleep 8 hours. If there's someone that 8 hours. Preferably 10, 12 hours. How much your body wants. How you do that? You go to bed early. Earlier than ever. You go to bed at 8 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. That's how a lot of the times I do that. And even, and please get me this. Help me, please help me understand this. Even if you don't study, you sleep early. Oh, I have an exam tomorrow. I didn't read a single word. I sleep early. 6, 7 p.m. I'm already in bed. Doing nothing. No phone, obviously. No computer, nothing. Preferably dim lights, just no lights, whatever. And sleep. Just do nothing. Oh, I can't sleep. Act fucking asleep. Genuinely, act sleep. Just this. I'm acting asleep. You know, control your thoughts, whatever. Don't just start talking to yourself like a maniac. But you got the point. Just act as you are sleeping. And don't get up until whatever hour you want. So you need to have like at least, we're talking 8 to 12 hours. At least 8 hours. 12 hours is preferable. Good. Just with doing that, without reading a single fucking word, you're better than 99.99999% of people. And here's the trick. You know, in the year that I said that I failed, whatever. So in the day that I failed at, we had 3 days exams. I passed the first day, failed at the second. I was fucked. Hated everything. Talking with the chef of whatever option I have, the branch. Hey, am I fucked? Can I pass the exam? Whatever. I was obviously like, fucked. Couldn't think of anything worse. Actually can't think. My mother's death. Or my mother's illness. My mother was ill. She was in the hospital. That's worse. But, so there, I said, you know what? Fuck this. I have an exam tomorrow. Didn't prepare. Fuck it. Went to sleep 5 p.m. Tomorrow morning, I woke up at 7. 7:30, 6:30, something like that. 7. I'm pretty sure 7. I woke up. I was depressed, whatever. I took my notes and I just read them. Literally. Read them. Blah, 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 blah. Half an hour. Went to the exam. Guess fucking what? That was the highest note or grade that I got that entire fucking year. I'm not sure if the entire, like all the time in university, but it was that high. It was like 17.25 out of 20, right? And for comparison, I studied weeks for the other exams. I'm telling you, weeks. Just one of them, I had fucking 1 week or 10 days. I was dead, bro. Waking up at it, sleeping at it. And guess fucking what? The exam, the one exam that I was fucked up, I was depressed, I hated everything. I failed at this exam. I don't even know if I can continue, if I should even pass, if I can even pass the exams or whatever. I slept at 5 p.m., woke up at 7 a.m., read a half an hour, went to college. That was the highest grade ever. You see how much huge that is? And it's not a coincidence. It's huge. Now, let me explain to you how or why that happens. So, I've already explained this before. You know, early on in my YouTube videos. Well, actually, pretty much every time I have an exam, I make these type of videos for the past 2 years and 3 months. No, 3 years but 3 months. So 2 years and 9 months. Every time I had an exam, I make a video just like this before the exam. I talk about it, how I feel, how it is, whatever. There's two types of memory. Only two types in life. There's only two types. Long-term memory, short-term memory. Long-term memory, you see something, you remember it until the day you die. Or at least for a very fucking long time. Right? Alphabets, that's long-time memory. You're not gonna remember, you're not gonna forget that. Here's the trick. Short-term memory. Short as fuck. Just that. Just say that. But very strong. Here's why. Long-term memory, for information to become a long-term memory, it has to go through a process. One, obviously get exposed to the information. You learn the information, whatever. Two, you sleep, which also gives us the importance of sleep in the first chapter. You sleep, and while sleeping, your mind, your brain, actively eliminates the information that he doesn't care about and keeps the important information. So, as an example, throughout the day, I see a lot of bullshit. On social media or, going outside, you saw someone wearing a red shirt. You want to remember that for the rest of your life? Of course not. I see a house, it's blue, it's red, it's yellow, who gives a fuck? So while you're sleeping, your mind is like, oh, I don't care about this. He's wearing a red shirt, I don't care. Screw that. Okay? So your brain does that. There's that. So your brain does that. When you wake up, you don't remember most of the things that happened yesterday. You remember just a few informations that your brain thinks are very important. Your brain, aka you. Just really, if you think something's important, probably you're going to remember it. That's how really long memory works. The problem with it, it's long term, right? It takes a lot of time, it takes repetition. And also, as I said, you don't remember the red goddamn fucking shirt. Short-term memory, however, I see the red shirt, I talk to you, I do remember the red shirt. Half an hour after, worst case scenario, a day after, I still remember the goddamn fucking red shirt. It's not really that hard, but once I sleep once, twice, thrice, I'm gone. I'm not gonna remember the red shirt, not even a chance. You can try, you can think about it. Do you remember the people's clothing 3 days ago? Fuck no. I don't even remember yesterday's people's clothing, or 2 days ago. So that's how important it is. Now, how is it important for exams specifically? Is that professors, when they write their lecture, their text, whatever script, they write it a certain way. They look at it a certain way. They think a certain way. You're not fucking analyst. You're not gonna do that. So what you do is you read those. Really, oh my God, it's crazy, bro. All you have to do is read those half an hour before the exam. Just read it. You don't even read to memorize it. Just read the goddamn fucking book. Think about it. You're reading a book, a random book. You're reading, blah, blah, blah. This guy is 6 foot tall. He walks and he trains every day. You're reading. Close the book. Half an hour later, I ask you, you're like, yeah, he's 6 foot tall. He's wearing a blue shirt. He trains, whatever. I ask you tomorrow, you're like, I have no fucking clue. I don't care. But that's how important it is. You just read it. All you did is just read it. You don't even try. You're just reading. When other people are trying to instill that information in long-term memory, you're capitalizing on the short-term memory. Now here's what I didn't tell you, or I skipped a little bit, Short-term memory is far fucking stronger than the long-term memory. I'm talking way stronger. You can remember way too many things, way more than we think. A lot. I'm generally thinking a lot. Right? It's way stronger, way stronger than the long-term memory. But the catch is it doesn't last long. As I said, you read the book or you do the lecture, you're reading, and you remember everything, but not forever. You have few hours, Or you have a day, as I said, day max. 3 days is maximum. 3 days is like death, bruv. Preferably 48 hours. 24 hours is better. And the best short-term memory capitalization, half an hour before the exam. You wake up, get that notebook, just read. Don't fucking try to be crazy. Just read. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Boom, close it. Go to the fucking lecture. Go to the exam. Boom. Walking like a beast, you know what I'm saying? With the suit on. Fucking John Wick in there, you know? You enter, you respond, you do whatever. The grades come up, you're the first in the class. You got a 20 out of 20. A full fucking grade. 20 out of 20 points. Just because you know this. Just because you did this. You know how crazy that is? Everybody else doesn't do that. Because they just never analyze themselves. And this actually works perfectly for me. And this obviously will have indicated my analysis. And my analysis have indicated that this is the best proven way I've done many times and many times. And the best grades that I have gotten in my life, in my entire goddamn fucking life, the best grades I have gotten in my fucking entire life was used this way. And you know, when people are like, oh, but you didn't study enough, you tell them, fuck you, that's first. That's the first thing you say. No, that's the first thing you say. You know why I told them to fuck off? Because when you were staying in the front row every goddamn fucking lecture, not missing a single fucking day, guess what they were doing? They were sitting in the back watching a fucking Game of Thrones. I saw that shit. You think I didn't see that? I was sitting in the goddamn fucking front row. It's me and the teacher. He's talking, I'm listening. You know? Even if I don't look at him, I'm listening. Because I have nothing to do. What to do? Think? For how long I'm gonna fucking think? Nothing to do. Just sit there, listen. Oh yeah, blah 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 bullshit. Whatever. Every fucking single day. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be a genius to understand the lecture then. You don't need to be a genius to remember some of the shit he talks about. You don't need to be a genius to understand how the professor works. You don't need to be a genius to know what does he prefer. You don't need to be a genius to know how the keywords that he likes and what are the words that you use in your fucking examination response. You don't need to be a fucking genius to do any of this. You don't need to be a genius to get 20 out of 20 grade. Just like me, G. You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy G. That's who I am, yeah. 20 out of 20. In my pocket. Every single exam. Guaranteed. Wallahi, it's guaranteed. Wallahi, it's guaranteed. Wallahi, it is guaranteed. Wallahi means I swear to God. 3 times. That's how strong I believe. That's how strong I know. It's just a fact. 20 out of 20 tomorrow. Already every single time I get 20 out of 20. All the goddamn fucking time. Just another day in the week. You know? Another day in the week. But yeah. As always, I'll be watching from afar and I'll be rooting for you.